Facebook. I'm going to press go on Facebook. Go live, Facebook. And excellent. It's going on LinkedIn too. Finally got my multi-live streaming stuff working. Brilliant. We are live on all three. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this impromptu little live around from silence to self-expression, which I'm really pleased to announce we're going to be having a little gathering celebration party situation for the two books we're releasing, one each. Sue, or wherever you are on the screen, Sue Bayley and Rory Lemon here, and we've got two books that we're both all about helping raise awareness about neurodiversity, neurodiverse challenges and solutions and strengths, and changing the world through our faces and our hands and our bodies. And sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't, and that's the point. That it's not all meant to be perfect, and it's meant to be a journey of connection and love and courage to show up anyway, and healing and all those great things. Sue, yeah,
yes,
we're going with the flow on this. What's your book?
Misunderstood No More, Untangled by Love.
Amazing, sounds great. Why did you put that together?
Well, it sort of slowly emerged because a few years ago I started waking up in the middle of the night and having to write. That it's almost like my spirit kicked me out of bed, and I would be writing on newspaper, cardboard, photocopier paper, whatever I could lay my hands on. And initially it was shadow stuff. So I took that to a psychotherapist. This was back in 2002 or something. And once I'd done my own healing, accepting, integration, I realized that actually the opposite of that could be true, i.e., instead of feeling shame and blame and you're broken, all these things, actually I could turn it on its head and believe the opposite. So I turned it on its head. I literally laid on the floor, turned myself around in the other direction, and made a fresh choice.
Wow.
So my whole thing is that it's taken me 67 years to believe I'm not broken. It's taken me a lot of blood, sweat, and tears from my own willingness and from input from others. And I would like to curtail that journey so that it takes 2 or 3 sessions, or it takes what time it takes, but it's really in the moment people can realize. They can realize that they're a creative being. They can realize that every day they can take a micro little step towards wholeness as opposed to feeling a freak. And it doesn't have to be that way. And also, I'm a bridge between two worlds, the world of the neurodiverse, in the sense that neurodiverse people let me into through their radar, and they accept and trust me, probably 80-90% of the time. People who are not neurodiverse, you call them neurocurious, which I love, basically get it to a point. And recently they've started asking questions, which makes me think that I'm also here to help them understand that, one size doesn't fit all. and it's a spectrum, and that there's every color of the rainbow in it, and each has sovereignty and dignity, and it's not just for us to come into their world, it's for them to come into ours, so that we can literally be, the flow can go in two directions.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Yeah. And that's, from what I know of you, that's just a little tip about what's happened, could be happening as well.
Yeah,
With
I feel that in the last 6 months or however long I've known you and been part of, the self-help bookshelf, that I've felt a different sort of support, that I can actually ground my stuff, can actually bring it into reality, as opposed to have it in my head on bits of paper, on canvases. I can actually bring it into a body of work, and that body of work, can help the neurodiverse individual that has just learned that they're different or just had a diagnosis, but it can also educate everybody else that we are honest, sensitive, creative beings that are welcome in any team, in any community.
love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Yes, amazing. And in a nutshell, without like spilling the beans on everything, what I got from what your book is, how it's presented and how it's different, is that it's a lot to do with the how I resonate with it is it's to do with artistic self-expression, expressing that sense of self-expression and healing, and or information and raising awareness through words that have come to you that aren't just, it's not just poetry, but it's not just um drawings, that you've self-expressed. You've put a lot of work into what it all means as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first book of a trilogy, and in the third book, what my intention is to actually take about 30 paintings and actually look at the symbolism and the color and the message from each of the paintings. Because how this all came about is, in 2017, I went to Hawaii to learn a particular art modality. I hadn't been a painter before, and basically my first thing was, I'm in Hawaii with 49 other women. We don't know each other. We're doing this particular painting. The first one I did was the Serene Siren, and it was like, like a face, but then it had like a fish shaped skin going down. To say you're the face, it would go down the side of you. And it was like I was losing a skin. I was losing an identity and coming into a new identity. And when I spoke to the 48 women, because we were asked to talk about our painting and its meaning, I got a standing ovation. And I suddenly thought, hang on a minute. Okay, so I've never painted before. I can take the meaning from what I've just done, even though I don't see it in my inner mind. So it all has to come from emotion and instinct. And I'm getting a standing ovation. Maybe I should use my voice, my paintbrush, and my pen to make a difference to the world. That's how it started.
Amazing. That's really exciting.
And I know you can see things that I haven't yet seen. I know you can see trajectories that are just hidden from me at the moment. I know you can.
Well, this is it. And what I would even say to that is or even from what you just shared, is that the signal that comes back around when we get automatic, almost like before someone speaks, automatic feedback energetically from something, you know that that's a thing to build on or work on, that or that could work or can work and will work. Um, and yeah, what you just shared, just that what you just sensed in me just then was like, yes, because we don't just want standing ovations in some
No,
ways. What we want is people to that has to be there. So it has to be the first piece, has to be the first piece in anything to go, that is going to work. If that's not happening, then it feels like it's not really worthwhile. It can feel like it's not worthwhile doing it, even though even that people can be stuck on the creative process and not think that they're creative and not even try to build something that they can then feed back and get the standing ovation to find out whether it is
yeah,
something or not. So there's the skills and the development of those skills to get to a point where then it's like, here, this is what I've got. And then someone goes, wow, I love that.
yeah,
Then that's almost like it's just another step. It's just another step. So that step that you've just shared there is what is how to and what to work with to create something that is shareable, building on, so that it's not just, oh, that was brilliant, that was nice and amazing,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then go away like it a
And,
bit of
and
an
I think,
entertainment.
and I think there's an ad hoc process that happened because I felt I was less than back in 2000, well, all my life, but back in 2000, I started to try and plug gaps. So I trained, in different modalities, life purpose, spiritual work, embodiment, creativity, because I felt if I had those posts around me, I could make what I felt and what I observed concrete enough for people to understand. And it wouldn't just appear as woo woo or, Sue's having a creative moment, just let her be in the corner sort of thing. And I think what I want to say, that the instincts that took me in those, which appeared to be going north, south, east, and west, were actually all the same thing. They were all about helping self and other. They were all about creativity for yourself and the other. And they were all about expressing for yourself and the other and giving permission to yourself and the other.
Mm. Amazing. Well, I love the word that came up there was concrete again, because again, it's great to have ideas and all those things and bringing the concreteness to it. It's even something I wrote down literally this morning. I'm just getting to the point of learning how to put into words what I do and what I can do with frameworks for teaching rather than just ongoing selling and like around business. So because when we've got innovative ideas, it's great, but it doesn't necessarily land with anyone. So it's one, like I said, one stage is like developing those ideas, getting the clarity of the piece, and going, this is the piece, and then getting feedback from that, and then it builds from there. Because at the end of the day, business is business, and it's not business that's up and down. It's how people perceive it and whether they feel like they should be doing something just for survival or whether they're doing it for thrival or not. And that element of it can be all those pieces. And that's where things change, is when we take a system that's not working and just use the parts that work and make the idea of what business is just to share value between each other and grow as individuals by
Mm,
knowing what we can share, and it being part of a healthy exchange of ideas and products and services,
mm.
and it
Yeah, I agree.
just so happens that neurodiverse and neurodivergence are good with creative ideas where they may not know how to put those into place. And that's what I love about what I'm doing as well, is helping that channel that process. And so
So
Yeah,
can I turn the table and ask you, what um what led to Rory being the neurocreative dude?
what led to it? It's a great question. Um, I I think we've got similar this is why I think why this title of this book launch that's coming up has come up, Silence to Self-Expression. We both didn't know how to talk or express our ideas at the time around those processes, and that's where I'd come from as well. So I I was resonating with music a lot. You mentioned about the paintbrush and pen, and I picked up the guitar and I would non-stop play the guitar I didn't realize I was doing it just to regulate my nervous system all the time. And I was just enjoying it. And it got to the point where I got invited to play in bands and stuff because I was good at what I did, because I just carried on doing it. And but I didn't realize it's like what can keep us comfortable and going round in a circle can also stop us from growing. And so that yes, it's an amazing skill to develop, but also again, it's this sense of going from skill to actual service, from skill to service. But yeah, is the point being that people can take things for granted unless the value is shared. And I didn't know how to explain the value of what I was sharing. So I would get invited to stuff because I was good at it and I'd contribute, and then I'd go away with nothing because
Yeah,
I hadn't worked out how to get back from it or turn it
yeah.
into a business or skill. So the idea of neurocreativity is going through the health crisis, the mental health crisis I went through from not expressing myself verbally enough and not knowing I was dyslexic until 33, studying osteopathy. And the osteopathy was the piece that gave me the idea of an understanding of how to describe all the patterns of health that I'd already had ideas on before and knew about in my mind, that I knew was true until it's like again the pandemic came along and reaffirmed everything that I'd been thinking of before then even. And I've got like stuff that I'm waiting for science and research and
To catch up.
societal to catch up so that we can actually express that thing and this thing and build on this thing. So where we're at now is that even these books, this one's called Neuro Creative Recollections. The whole idea is, and I like the way we've got similar colors. It was orange, Misunderstood No More, and Neuro Creative Recollections. And so, yeah, and they've both got all the colorful pictures and stuff and words, and less words, more flavor, I like to call it. It's a boiled down soup into a sauce. But yeah, the reason why it's recollections is because it's all stuff that I've thought about before and written down,
Mhm.
and the idea being that this is all stuff from 2022. So I've got 2023, 2024, and 2025 stuff still to put
Yeah,
out. And so
yeah.
the idea is it's like this is a time capsule of what I was thinking of then. And the one before that was everything from 2007 to the end of 2021, when the pandemic really kicked in at that point. And so,
I can see we doing going to do more book launches if you're willing, because I I I started writing in that download way in 2005, and I started curating it into stuff around 2018, 19, and I've got about probably 200 micro downloads, which are not organized in any way because that is not my strength. And what I'm doing, I can see 3 books, but if I've got more things and more outpourings happen, it might be 4. So it's like the history of my process from being in the absence of light and in the shadows to now, a sort of emerging in writing and paintings and talking about those experiences. And what I hope is that over time, like in a conversation I had this morning, somebody I met is where I was in 2005. And found it really easy to say, well, I'm a few years ahead of you in this process. Let me extend a hand, and depending on your budget, for a donation or a fee. You know what I mean? Depending where you're at is where I'll receive you. Do you know what I mean? And that felt the easiest thing I'd done in ages, and it only happened this morning. Normally, I was like, okay, we need to go on Zoom. We need to, confirm it in an email and all this stuff. No, you just in the moment accept you've got a person in a breakout room on a network who's just told you that he got diagnosed 3 months ago. Well, you don't have to go anywhere to set anything up. You just say, here I am, and this is what I do. If you want it, we can talk. We can have payment plans. We can have a donation. We can have the proper charge that I make, or anything in between. And because I know what that pain's like, and that was the easy. If you told me I was selling or anything, I'd have gone running out of the room. But that just was really natural. And I almost feel I'm turning a corner, and I don't quite where the corner's going, but
Yeah, amazing. I love it.
It's going to the next corner, which I'll turn, which I don't yet know.
I've got one quote in this book that you just reminded me of. One of them. Where was it gone? Because I really want to share it now that you said that, which is almost there.
So I'm going to be holding onto your coat strings, Rory.
I don't know the book well enough yet. The order of where is it gone? Where's it gone? Going through the whole thing. It's not. There's no titles or anything, or page numbers or anything. It's just a case of it's a book to
Dip into.
just flip
Dip
and
into.
yeah. Oh my gosh. I want to go through the whole thing.
In there, got that.
Have you got something that you want to share?
Okay. I shall just the thing that page you opened at. It's called
Nice.
The Power of the Human Spirit. One metaphor that had kept me going through life is that no matter your circumstances, the human spirit finds a way to survive. And in some way that compares to flowers and trees in the natural world. When I look at plants and they need watering, it makes me think of traumas in my own life and where I needed nourishment and nurturing. Like a plant who always searches for the light, the human spirit always searches for survival and growth in the same way. Each generation has a part to play in their own sovereignty and providing the best soil for their descendants. Sometimes, just like plant life, we need additional resources and support from each other who are more experienced gardeners to replenish what we lack. And then there's a picture of 4 generations, and underneath it says healing the generation.
Can we see that again? Can we see that again? Nice.
Healing the generational trauma, paper figures interpreted against my paint with my paintbrush.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah. It's I can really see the similarities in how it really is about. It is like poetic ways of explaining difficult things, but then realizing that you can look at that from hindsight of appreciation.
Yep.
For that journey.
Yeah, I mean, I did a piece of work last week where I did a forgiveness gig for my mother, and it was like I feel so much lighter. And it's like, you can take what is quite a hidden piece of your shadow, bring it to the light, and then you have more light. So
Amazing. Yeah.
you can look back at stuff and think, oh, that was a dark period. But you need the alchemy of the dark periods to be able to hold the shadow of other people. Because if somebody comes to you, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to project their shadow onto you. And you need to hold it in the light and not see it as personal and help them transform it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's really well put. Really well put. And yeah, I found it. So the it's squiggly lines are, and it's about you can turn sales, as in selling, sales and selling into sailing, and let your work and business cruise its way to success.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
because it's like if the structure, if you know the structure and what is which direction is going in, it's like, are you going, do you want to go in this direction or not? Or maybe less direct as that, but it's like it is just that finding those people that want to get on the same boat and go in the same
Yeah, yeah.
direction.
It's funny.
So
I was doodling this morning and I drew similar lines, and it's a oh, you've gone, Rory. Where have you
yeah, yeah,
gone?
yeah, yeah. Be careful picking that up just in case they end the call. Oh, wow. It's falling around in space now. Whoa.
You
That was like
shit,
bit 2001. We're supposed to be talking
Rory.
about 2022.
Uh, that was not okay. It's still wrong. You're going on a trip again,
Whoa.
Rory.
I watched that back for a bit of a that was a free fairground ride for the middle of your day.
So I did this little diagram, and it's like the nucleus, which is me, inside um, a bubble, and then I did wiggly lines out to the four corners, and I wanted to focus on relationship with spirit, abundance, love, and discernment. So whatever I create next will come out of that choice.
Amazing.
And so you had wiggly lines, and I had wiggly lines in
Wiggly
the
lines.
same
Yes.
day.
Yes.
No hard straight lines for us.
No, no, not at all. Well, I think we've covered quite a lot of stuff there. Obviously, the the idea of the book launch is to celebrate these books coming out, and how they have really great complementary approaches, but also their own very unique, different ways of doing things, and as well. So we're going to have like some guests, interviews. We're going to have live performances. We're going to have a game. We're going to have a bit of music and
Master of
discount.
ceremonies.
Yeah, yeah. We're going to have master ceremony. We're going to have loads of cool things all packed into 2 hours, and it's going to be awesome. It's on Sunday, the November the 30th, and at 7 p.m. UK, which is 2 p.m. EST, and and I don't know all of the time things I'm not that kind. I'm not that level of processing.
Go to the app Time Buddy.
Exact time, buddy. Yes. Brilliant. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. If you're here, if you had got any questions about anything or want to share what you've liked about this, what highlights when you have a highlight and you remember it, and you declare it, you also can share that with someone else. You never know who may need to know a piece of information just through them. This synchronistic. The more we declare and talk about what's important and share what we do want, not what we don't want in life, then we we will
We're
consistently
telling the universe how to bring it back to us.
and exponential. We need exponential growth at this point in our human history, and understanding neurodiversity in its entirety without having to know the answers is the key to getting on with each other and just being collaboratively curious, neuro-curious, and neuro, whatever you want to call yourself, is the name of the game here. So, and also looking for what works commonly as well. It's not about fighting anything. It's about what works and let go of what doesn't. So thanks for watching. Is there anything else you want to share, Sue,
I
about
just wanted
this?
to ask, it's gone into a particular group. If I wanted to share it to other groups or further afield,
Oh
do
yeah.
I have a link or what do I do?
So it's in on Facebook. We'll have to come up with a post and then get the link to it's on YouTube as well, my YouTube, which is globally
Okay.
watchable. So you can share that link to this
Okay.
and so we've got YouTube if anyone wants to share it from YouTube. It's on LinkedIn publicly, so you can share that on LinkedIn, fine, and it's on in the NeuroCreative
So basically, the
leadership.
thing to remember is to share LinkedIn to LinkedIn, Facebook to Facebook, and YouTube to YouTube. So what I sometimes try and do is go crossways, not horizontal, and that doesn't always work.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll work it out. So thanks
Yep.
for watching. Yeah, let us know what you've got from this, and I'll share the registration links and the event links because there's a Facebook event for Facebook, there's a LinkedIn event for LinkedIn. If there's any questions around any of this, then we're 10 days to go. So it's a 10-day to go thing. Woo! Look, 10 fingers and 10 days. Whatever you want to enjoy. And yeah, I'll stop the streaming now. Thanks so much for watching, and let us know by liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and all those wonderful things to keep in touch. Much love. All the best.
Bye.